All right, friends, it's Team One, and I'm gonna critique this guy's video here that he posted, and his name is Team 3D MJ. Yeah, I've never seen him before. I just came across his video, his channel, whatever. I figured I'd do a reaction to this video. So his name is Coach Albert Nunez, new program, or no, he's doing a program. Coach Albert Nunez, new program. I don't know if that's him or somebody. So Team 3DMJ. Coach Nunez, okay. Training with a Natty Pro, my new training split. New training split. You know, they're always trying something new because they failed. They failed. They don't know what builds muscles, bro. I don't know what's wrong, what happened to this generation, the last couple generations. I guess people have just lost it. I don't know, man.
All right, before we get running with this, if you find yourself every time it's time for you to generate your next new program, you find yourself a deer in headlights, writer's block.
Here's the question. The old saying is this: if you've got a plan A, you don't need a backup plan B. You understand me? Because plan A should always work. You see, I have plan A, and I know that plan A will always get me to my destination, so I don't need a plan B. These guys, they're always like doing new plans because the old plan kind of like there's nothing going on, got to get a new plan again. You know, it's like kind of like I got to do the drop sets, I got to do the pyramid sets, then I got to do the cluster sets, then I got to do the myo reps, then I got to do the conjugate system, the this system, that system. Christ, man, it just goes on forever.
There's just doubt behind every action because you don't know if what you're doing is the right thing to do.
Exactly. There's doubt behind it because you don't know if it's the right thing to do. So what do you need to do? You need to find somebody that knows what they're doing, and then you listen to them to find out whether they know what they're talking about, and they can prove it with science and whatever else, okay? Now, I'm not talking about I need to use science to build my body. I don't give a shit about science. I just prove what I say works, what I'm doing works. That's all I use science for. I don't use science programs, whatever they're doing there, tests. So yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that at all. I go off my own experiences. I don't need any science.
Our course bodybuilding program designed, learn how to write body.
See, how to do bodybuilding designs. You don't. There aren't any. There's only eccentric and concentric movements. You need to figure out which one you want to do and which one actually builds muscle and strength. That's it. Now, you can get better at lifting concentrically, but it will not make you physically stronger. It'll make you better at lifting heavy, but it will not make you stronger, and your body will be weak.
Building programs the right way.
Yeah. See what I mean? Building programs. Why do you need to build a program? There's only one way to build muscles, eccentrically. So why do you need all these programs? Why?
Look, like with bodybuilding, there's just so many aspects of it that if you're just not into it, it's just boring.
No, it's not boring, and there are not many aspects to it. There's only one aspect: eccentric exercise. That's it. That's bodybuilding. That's the premise of bodybuilding. Powerlifting is concentric, so that must mean that bodybuilding is based on the principles of eccentric lifting, because that's what builds myofibulars. Get it, dude? Do you understand me? Use your brain, man. Wake up. And calisthenics, what do? They took that from bodybuilding. They only do the dips. That's it. The pull-ups and the dips. All right. What's superior about those two exercises? What's superior about them? Why do calisthenic guys look very jacked and they're extremely strong body-wise? They're physically strong. They can do physical bouts of strength with their body weight that other people can't do, like powerlifters. They can't do that. If that truly was strength powerlifting, based on physical strength, it was based on physical strength powerlifting, then why can't powerlifters do the body weight stuff that calisthenics guys do? Want to know why? Because they're not physically strong. Now, why can't calisthenic guys lift heavy weights like powerlifters concentrically? Why? Because they don't lift concentrically. The basis of pull-ups and dips are eccentric exercises, okay? However, bodybuilding is a more complete exercise. It's a more superior thing, modality, because it just is, because we do the big four, we do all the accessory work, cables, dumbbells, barbells, and we do dips and pull-ups. That's what makes it superior. However, in bodybuilding, we only focus on the eccentric. You understand me? But we do everything, but it's eccentric. We do it in the eccentric mode. So you are going to be just as jacked and strong bodily wise, like these so-called what do you call them, these calisthenic guys. You're going to have that physical strength. Then you're going to have the same strength like power lifters, because we do the big four, we do more. So we're going to be jacked, big, strong. We're going to have strength, power, speed, and performance. Bigger, better, stronger, and faster. Get it? That's associated with what? Bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is not a sport. You understand me? Because it compromises sportive performance. It cannot be a sport.
Like watching someone run their errands, right? I remember watching Jay Cutler
I mean, look at this. He's buying a lot of slave food. He buys a lot of slave food, which is useless, and you eat it. That causes more delays. You put it in your body, and it causes problems. Why do you need that for?
Costco, like I am.
Okay,
picking out his
Costco.
I
Look at
prefer
that. It's all slave food diet.
Greek yogurt. It's just so much.
You don't need that.
So I feel like brand new like socks.
All right, I want to see his working out videos. So I don't want to stay there all day. Okay, this is it.
Like brand new like socks, brand new underwear, good brand new.
Okay, off the bat, look at him. It's concentric. Look at him. He's showing faces, pushing it outward concentrically.
Training split, good, but it's not brand new. Because here's the deal: if it's time to rotate things, and you are just starting all over, it's completely different from your last training split. You're probably just throwing random shit at the board, and you're seeing like what sticks. So for me,
why do you need to throw random things to see what sticks? All you have to do is lift in the eccentric portion. Do not pass the isometric portion and go concentrically. Stay in the eccentric. Eccentric, isometric, eccentric, going back down again. That's it. Just stay right there. Don't go anywhere. And you'll be able to lift heavier eccentrically than you could concentrically. For full concentric.
Speaking, what I'll do, about 80% of it stays, 20% of it, it's like, okay, this thing here.
You could do everything eccentrically. You could do submaximal eccentrically, you could do supramaximal, and you can do accentuated eccentrically. You can do 3 modalities. You have the choice. You have the choice of doing it. Me personally, I really stick with supramaximal. Fast and heavy eccentric exercises. That's it. Fast, heavy eccentric exercises. I don't do submaximal. Okay, maybe I might. It depends on what I'm doing. If there's some specificity there in the exercise, I have to do some submaximal. Depends on what I'm doing. It requires that, then I'll do it. Otherwise, I won't do it. The accentuated, I always do that if I do they're assisted usually. I assist it myself. I do them at the end if I want to rep out some more stuff. That's all I do. I just assist by repping them out. That's it, really. It's not rocket science, man. Just do the opposite of everything these people are doing.
It's just not doing what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
Let's look at it and adjust things a little bit. So,
and think about it. This guy has 117,000 subscribers. I had my original channel was practically 7-8 years old, and I could barely eke out 2,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? And I used real science. I explained it again and again and again. And even now I came out with more stuff on my channel. I started explaining it more in detail. And I can barely eke out over 2,000 subscribers. But nah, people like this who don't know what they're doing, he even admits he doesn't know. He's just He's just shooting darts. He's throwing throwing shit in the wind, trying to figure out, see what sticks on the wall. And he's got 117,000 subscribers. Okay.
But within like what has changed, like
Right.
this block, that 20%, some movements, but also as we go through a lot of our compounds, especially,
So the first exercise he failed. Let's see this one.
we're going to be performing some top set work.
Right there, he failed. He's lifting with his arms. That means it's too light, and he's using his arms again. It's an arm exercise. I told you, when people do back exercises, it's all arms. It's all arms, bro.
And we're doing top set work so that we can lift up our strength ceiling
These are sarcoplasmic reps. This is pump training.
a little bit. I'm doing it with fives primarily, and then there's this like a 10
Why fives? Fives are not enough to cause any micro damage.
percent like drop from there. So in the long term, this will make me stronger. That's the plan, anyways.
No, it's not going to make you stronger, but it will make you better at lifting that. Especially for your arms. Your back will be weak though, because it hasn't. Your back is not engaging.
And as a bodybuilder, especially a natural bodybuilder, strength is okay. Maybe okay. So you're not a powerlifter. I understand that, but okay. What if we take Mr. 200-pound bench
What are you
press?
talking about? We do powerlifting and bodybuilding. We just don't do it concentrically, okay? We do it eccentrically. Anyways, I don't understand. Look at this. Man, what's the matter with this guy? This too is failure. Watch.
And we turn that over the next few months into a 250 bench press. What happens
See that? It's all concentric. Very little eccentric. It's all concentric.
to my homeboys like 3 by 10, right?
Yeah, okay. What else does he have here? Okay, this is
It's gonna
failure.
get better. It's gonna be more impactful. So, yeah, that's what we're doing here. Eventually, a lot of those fibers
So that was failure. Now watch this. I bet you he's going to use his arm just... This is... Oh, man. Here we go.
will turn into like singles at RPE 8, which is like, dude, like that is the hack
Right there, yep. He's using his arm.
when it comes to getting strong.
When it comes to getting strong, you're not getting strong. You're getting better at doing that. If you grow myofibulars, you're getting strong. But if you're adapted in just lifting, you're not getting strong. You're getting better at lifting these weights, especially with your arm. Right there at the top, you squeezed, ass cheek squeezing. And he's using his arm to lower it and to pick it up. Their back is not engaged at all whatsoever.
With movements that, you know, it makes sense to do it, bro. And stuff will get you so
And he's throwing the weight up because that's what people do. They kind of like toss it up. They throw it up and squeeze it. They think if they throw and squeeze, that's going to do something to the muscle. They think they think that all the growth is at the top. The growth is at the bottom. They don't even realize it.
strong. Just got to learn how to dose it right, both in regards to how much and how many movements you do it on, and then like how long you run it. But I think we will end up there. So
Yeah, it's failure.
my training group, you hear me? You guys know what I'm talking about. We've done those pap sets before. Dumbbell row.
I'm surprised he has a training group. They're completely failing too as well. They're failing.
It's dumb. I love it. You don't have to think about anything, right? Just have your torso angled the way you want, right? More lat if you're like this, and then more upper back if you're like, if that's what you want.
Yeah, it's an arm exercise. Okay.
And maybe a little bit more upright.
See what else he has here. This
It
is
can
more
be a
failure.
very simple movement.
So this is pure failure. I love this. The people, then they try to do it from behind their back, the shoulder, right? They think, okay, I'll do it from behind my back and pull it. This is just a waste of time. And it's really light, watch, because you can't fly it if it was really heavy. It's impossible.
I love the movement because I don't got to think. I just got to set myself up.
If this is an isolation for the shoulder, then why aren't you using the shoulder? Why are you using your arm?
Try really hard. Excellent. Exact opposite from this movement where, so here's the deal.
Everybody does this and they fail at it. They can't figure out why. All these natural people, they're failures. They don't know what they're doing. Their problem is they keep following steroid people who failed. The steroid people failed lifting concentrically, and then they took drugs, and then all of a sudden it appears that, oh my God, look, they kept doing the same exercises and they got a different outcome. No, they didn't do the same exercises and they got a different outcome. They did the same exercises and they took steroids, and the steroids gave them an artificial outcome. Get it? A fake one. That's what happened, dude. You can't get a different outcome doing the same exercises. You'll get a 0. So your friend went to take steroids and he did the exact same exercises, and all of a sudden he has a physique and yours is still stuck. Why? You're still doing the same exercise. Why are you stuck? Because it's bullshit. That's why.
Bigger and stronger you are. Talking about being bigger and stronger, that's been a theme so far. But
yeah, bigger.
The more strict.
Bigger and stronger. How do you get bigger and stronger? Well, you lift eccentrically, and when you get damaged, and when you get bigger, you get stronger. Get it? When you get more myofibulars, you get stronger. It's really simple.
Movements have to be, because it's very easy to contaminate the movement with other joint actions you didn't intend on using. It can be subtle, it can be small, it can be an seated cable row and those knees are kind of extending just a little bit. It could be a dumbbell lateral raise or lateral raise like this, and you're kind of just, kicking your rib.
Yes, okay.
Up. Like people don't realize that, man. The bigger and stronger you are, the more careful you're going to have to be with how you move, because it's very easy to unintentionally assist the movement with other joints. Oh, here comes Brian Miner.
To assist it with other joints? Then why are you using your entire arm to fly it? If it's a shoulder exercise, why isn't your shoulder engaging?
Trying to distract me from my workout, bro. But I told him, dude, I am focused. I have myo reps. So that's another thing.
Like, he doesn't look bad. He's got a lean physique, right? He's lean. He's a lean person, right? It's kind of obvious because he's an exercised person. He exercises a lot. He exercises his body. So it's going to be lean, He exercises a lot. I could tell he's an adapted lifter. He exercises a lot. He has a little bit of puffiness in his muscles. That's all. They're fake. There's nothing really going on there.
Myo reps day.
Myo reps.
And I mentioned this before.
Oh, bro. Here we go with the fake myo reps. You know what myo reps are, right? They're like these rest sets. Myo reps, cluster sets, drop sets, pyramiding. Wow, they just go on and on forever, bro. It's all fake. In eccentric exercise, we just keep trying to go heavier. Sometimes in our exercise, we go heavier. We could go heavier. If we can go heavier, we go heavier. We max it out.
Or once you start performing the myo reps, it's just really hard on isolation movements to do all those.
Once you perform the fake myo reps, yes, okay.
Buy-in reps again, just so that you can get to the grindy part of the set. It's just such more tamed compared.
Right, I like these. I saw him do this because I took a look at this video. The squats are probably the best thing that he's done, and he says he's done this. This is the first time he's done it on this block.
The one I was using at a gym that honestly is a lot more tamed, but that Smith machine they had was just gnarly. The knurling.
Hold on, let's see
part of the set. This move.
I like these. Here we go. All right.
This movement here, man, super excited to have it back. This Smith machine is a lot more tamed compared to the one I was using at a gym that honestly is a lot more tamed. But that Smith machine they had was just gnarly. The knurling, first of all, was intense. So very quickly, like I redeveloped my fat pad here, like very quickly, like after one session, which I don't know, looks kind of cool.
I would say those are pretty deep eccentric exercises. Why don't you do that for your other exercises? Now, the thing is with the eccentric exercise, you'll notice when people squat, they do this, they cannot go heavy. They can't go heavy eccentrically. They'll have to build it up. You have to build it up.
I don't know. That's just me. But it's came back super quick. The Smith machine was also heavy. It was like, I think it was, I don't know if it was 65 or 85 pounds, but usually as far as I know, I've never looked into this because I just don't care. I just load up whether it's a machine or a Smith.
Yeah, if you have a block in the gym like this, you can use it, or you can bring in your own, right? If you have some wooden blocks like this, just bring them in, two of them, and just do that. Like I have my own stuff, right? If I need it, I bring it with me if I need it. So yeah.
Machine, the kind you can plate load. I just think of them in my head as the same as a loaded barbell. Just standardizes things, makes them easier. They're all arbitrary systems, anyways. But I guess that Smith machine might have been like 75, 85. Anyhow, so 65, I don't know. But this one's definitely more up to standard. I think it's about 25 pounds, something like that. I don't know. I don't care. I call this 185 in my head and in my logbook. But yeah. Like this was pleasant just because especially first week back knurling wasn't killing me, but I overall I just love the movement, especially with some wedges. This is the first time I've used 30-degree wedges. They went all out at this gym. I own the 20s and I wanted to get the 20-degree wedges rather than the 10s or the 30s because they're kind of right in the middle, but this is straight 30, so we'll see how this goes, but so far so good.
I would say these are really good. I got to commend him on the squats. At least he figured that one as much. A lot of people, like I say, they mostly do it concentrically. They try to show off, but this is pretty good.
Really love I think out of all quad movements, again, the one issue with this one is the fact that your hip can kind of be free floating. So again, it's very easy to just leak the hips back and potentially take away from the quads. But if you're mindful of it, it's not too much of an issue. You just got to be patient with your increments as well. But man, like after I perform,
I don't know. Maybe this gives you a better stretch. I've never done it with a block like this. I've got to try this. It's possible it could give you a better stretch, really. I don't know. Maybe it's easier and it gives you a better stretch. It's really hard to say. Again, I'd have to try it. I don't have experience with it. I always do it flat. I mean, I've used plates, but that's not the same. This guy's like got a block here on an angle.
this specific movement, I've never felt this on any other movement before. It's like my vastus medialis is literally.
Want to know why you've never felt that like on any other movement? Because it's eccentric, dude. That's why.
Like hot. Like it's just hot to the touch. It's something I've never felt before, and I rack up enough good weeks on this, bro. Do I get some like very? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Because you know how it goes. Like usually, like whatever you've gone through the last few weeks, you tend to see in your physique. If training is bad, you look at the mirror and you're like, man, I am soft and soggy. Training's good. You look in the mirror.
You're soft and soggy because you're not lifting heavy enough. Eccentrically, bodybuilders lift astronomically heavy weights eccentrically, bro. Get it? Because we're trying to build myofibulars, these sarcomeres in series and in parallel, yes. We're trying to build muscle fibers as well, yes. An entirely new fiber if possible.
And it's the exact opposite usually, but I swear to you, like every time I've had a run at these, there's been improvements in my quads. So as much as I love the side backs, especially because it's the hack squat that I go the furthest back with, I can't wait to see what this one does, especially with the 30-degree wedges. If it doesn't work out and it's just too much for the knees, too much too soon, I'll definitely just bring my own. At the end, I guess this was my heaviest set. So this one I'm running backwards, actually. No top sets for this. If anything, it's the other way around. It's actually really high rep work, middle of the road rep.
All right.
It's a basketball player. It's like, oh, you feel that breeze. It's time to go. But yeah, I'm a lot of.
It's good. He's doing a lot of sets. This is very good. Smart. Legs are very important.
Collector cars are the new gold rush.
First, but
yeah, legs require a lot of work because they're a massive piece of muscle, bro. And it's important to have legs, to be grounded, to have big legs, big strong legs.
To be honest, it doesn't matter. Like, again, you can grow with any rep range in bodybuilding. But not only that, I think what really helps me, well, two things. I think the first one is,
Again, this is failure. I don't do these. It's a waste of time. It's concentric. It's isometric, concentric, without any eccentric. There's no eccentric. It's a waste of time.
you turn something that would be a warm-up set.
That's why he looks so average. He looks so average because his lifts are just their failure. He's not really lifting. He's using his arms for his back. He does these concentrically for the shoulders, using arms. It's just, man, it's always arms, arms, arms. The shoulder has to be isolated. Let the shoulder do it. Man, you just hold the weight with your hand. Your shoulder should be doing it. It's an isolation movement. Everything in the shoulder area. Your back area, your back should be engaged, not your arms either. Christ. Okay.
Right? Let's just say you build up to some heavy singles even.
No.
This lateral,
No.
this and calling it a fucking PR, right?
All right, let's see how he does these. How far back does he go? Let's see.
What
Right there. He went pretty far back. But again, he's making it a concentric exercise. That's the problem.
leg extensions on the.
He went all the way up to the top. You don't have to go all the way up. You just have to go right about there and then make it go all the way underneath. Where I go to the gym, this thing locks all the way underneath. What I do is I slide my knees all the way out. I push them out so that my legs are bent. I want them bent, so I want the weight coming down. I don't want it going up, ass cheek squeezing my quad. I want it going down and stretching it like crazy, set after set after set. I want all that eccentric exercise on the quad. When it goes up, it's pulling the muscle as I'm going up isometric, and then when it's going down, it's still being pulled. It's pulling going up and pulling going down, pulling going up, pulling going down eccentrically.
Strive, I think this one I'm excited about. I'm excited, and also lean back as well.
And you can use this to assist. See that hammer there next to him, right there on his right side? That piece of metal with the black thing on top of it. So if you need, you can assist. You can pull that back. Yeah, you pull back on it. It'll help assist, make the weight go up. And then allow the weight to go down by itself eccentrically. Go with gravity, dude. Get it?
As far as I could, just to stretch out the muscle a little bit more. But this.
See, he stuck his knees out. He even says it. I stretch it out so I can stretch out the muscle. But his training is very poor. You need a lot of sets, bro. The rep range is 8 and 12. You need a lot of sets. And you need to go heavier on this. And then eventually assist if you can't make it. If you can't make it between 8 and 12, assist.
Machines hardly ever used at the gym, so that's
Yeah,
nice.
right there. See?
And
Now he went up all the way up to the top again. Dad, he almost had it there the first time.
of course, I can kind of mess around with the strength curve for this block.
Yeah.
I have it loaded.
Notice how they go so slow down. They go fast up, and then they go slow down. If you went so fast up, that means the weight is too light going down. So what does he do? Well, I'll make it like sub-maximal. I'll go really slow down. Yeah, it doesn't really work with lightweight though, dude. Sub-maximal eccentrics are used for heavy weight with really good control, but going really heavy sometimes. Or it's meant for old people.
In the lengthened position, which is starting to kind of become a meme, but it shouldn't be that way. But
right,
anyhow, my rep work here as well.
Yeah, my rep is a waste of time. See
I
this.
think I can generally be ready in like.
Anything else you got here? What else you got here?
Right, so maybe.
It's just failure.
Whenever I get to certain.
Sorry, what is this? Okay, this is a cool machine. Okay, you're doing your tricep on here, I see, right? Why are you doing it full range? It's too light.
Loads, certain like performance metrics on this thing.
So he's ass cheek squeezing basically. He's adapted. It's too light eccentrically, so he's just squeezing them.
Like literally, it's like arms go from like most days being like closer to 16 and like 3/4, we'll say, to like straight up 17s, to straight up 17s.
Okay.
And it's this machine. This machine just does me really good. However, one thing I've learned about especially tricep movements, it's like, bro, like no matter how good they are to you, it's like don't run them, don't overstay, because yeah, eventually you'll feel it. So.
Oh yeah, this is just failure. It's poor guy, man. I don't know. It's unfortunate.
Productive. Watering holes always like straight up good to me, but you are human after all. But this one, I decided to run for one more block, just because it's been so good to me, man. Like literally, I saw my arms were like at 17.1 the other day, and that's very just not normal, like for me.
It could be, man, it could be just sarcoplasmic. You have to be careful. If you're adapted to your exercise, you're just pumping them now. See what I mean? You're just pumping them. Anyways, friends, I'll see you in the next video. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Very interesting. It's unfortunate. A lot of people make this mistake training in the gym. See you later, man.